Okay, so like maybe, oh yeah, okay, we're good.
Scare the
Hello.
shit out of me.
Sorry. So maybe streaming on both isn't the best of ideas because the bit rate is supposedly very low on both, though. I mean, yeah, no, on YouTube it's real rough. Let me see.
Ah.
Let me check. I
Oh,
may.
Nantin be joining us? Oh, that's right
Yeah,
after dinner.
Nanten could be joining us. I may have to fix that on YouTube's end, though on Twitch it shouldn't be on both too much of a problem. Hello. It looks fine on both, honestly. For being extremely low bitrate, it actually
Mm.
looks totally fine. Here, let me try one thing. The YouTube stream's gonna go dark for like 2 seconds, so give me a second, but
Okay.
luckily the way that YouTube Live works, we should be fine now. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, yeah, we are too much of a problem. Yeah, we should be fine.
Hopefully. Let me see. I'm watching
It's
on
it's
YouTube on
it's
my
back
phone.
live again. Sorry, we're sort of we're
Testing.
yeah, we're
That's
sort
all.
of doing a little test right now. Probably not the best way to start off doing this, but yeah, back they said. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're right now streaming to both our YouTube and Twitch. As you can probably guess, we got our streaming privileges back
Yeah.
from YouTube after being in the dark
But
for a few days.
thanks to Ubisoft.
Yeah, thanks Ubisoft. So we decided to do. It was either we were gonna do an update video, or we were gonna do
A stream.
yeah, like a little Good Morning Source Gaming type meme, which is what this kind of is. Let me hide Nanten's icon for now. So yeah, we're live on both our YouTube and our Twitch right now.
Alright.
Link in the if you're on YouTube, links in the description below to our Twitch. If you're on Twitch, you know what our YouTube channel is. It's not that hard to navigate. But yeah, we kind of want to use the stream as just a way to kind of, I guess, talk about what in the absolute hell was going on this past week, and if you guys have any questions about anything, and I do mean anything,
Mm-hmm.
feel free to ask, and we will answer. This stream is
It's
kind
a
of like
Q&A stream.
it's like a full transparency. Just it's like full disclosure. Here's what we think. I'm also gonna play some Realm Royale, so yeah, if you're in chat, just slap in a hot message.
Did we put on Twitter that we're streaming?
I already did.
Okay. Let me see. I'll retweet it.
Yeah, retweet it again if you have to. And I put up the message on
On Discord.
yeah, on Discord as well. So E3 was fun.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was all right.
It could have been better for everybody else. Nintendo did great.
Yeah, it could have been a bit better for people who wanted to live stream on YouTube.
Yeah, that too.
that was I don't know. Do we just jump into it? Do we just start talking about what happened?
We should. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the best thing to do.
all right, and I guess I'll just play Realm Royale in the meantime. So I guess the best way to put it is that I mean, naturally when you do these big game conference streams, you're gonna get copyright dinged. Like that's just because that's what game companies do now, is that they throw every trailer and everything they can into the little copyright system on YouTube, the auto claiming one, and then your live stream just gets automatically claimed once the live stream is done. Which is fun. So you can't make monetization off the video, even when we try to make efforts to cover up the copyrighted stuff. We actually didn't get dinged for music at all, which we're really proud of. I think because we talked over most of the music, or we just kind of we did like the thing with the Just Dance where we muted it and we put something else over it while talking about something else entirely.
Right.
But we over the course of all of our E3 live streams, we only got dinged 3 times. One was for the new Tales of game.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Second was Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Oh.
And then third was the thing that fucked us over, which was the Ubisoft For Honor DLC. Yeah. Oh, hey, now I gotta put your icon back on screen.
Yes, just finished having dinner. Yeah, no, it was Bandai Namco and Ubisoft. I'm not even quite sure what it was with the Kakarot one, because it was the whole Tales of video, like all of it. But the Kakarot one, it's literally from halfway through the trailer.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's from like when Vegeta appears. So I don't know if he just flew in and fucking took us down.
What the heck?
Well, no, it seems like it was only the Ubisoft one. Apparently, Ubisoft claims are the ones that do you in. It's not anything else, evidently.
Yeah,
the
I'm not
other
sure
one was
why
just a
that
content claim. The other one was like a copyright, or there's a difference, but it's always hard to describe it.
Yeah, I mean, there's 3 different types of claims that they can make. So, I think it's the difference in claim.
The problem is that YouTube is one of the least descriptive websites ever made, and it doesn't really tell you if you've done anything wrong, nor does it really give you a way of really doing anything. It really sucks. YouTube is just it's this website that everyone uses, but it's also made by incredibly inept people. So what happened was that night I immediately contacted YouTube support, which is a thing, because I know everyone likes to immediately go for Team YouTube on Twitter, but surprise, they never get back to anyone, because everyone adds Team YouTube. So you have to go into the Creator Studio, and if you're partner verified, you can just talk to someone on YouTube chat, where they just have some random person just be like, hey, fucking, we can help you out. And what they essentially told us was that, there was a copyright claim, and the only thing we could do was either do a claim dispute, which, if you know how YouTube works, is kind of like playing Russian roulette, where you can be like, hey, that claim's kind of bullshit, I don't agree with it. And they go, oh, really? Because if the copyright holder does not agree with your dispute, that claim gets automatically turned into a strike, which is even worse. So
no, it doesn't. Not always. It doesn't have to turn into a. Just say that we don't agree with that, and then it's still just a claim. But I think it can turn into a strike if they make it into a. It doesn't have to be a strike.
So a lot of the time you're kind of discouraged from even doing disputing, just because it's not worth it, because if Professor Ubisoft really wants us dead, I mean, they can. So you're just kind of like, oh, do I really want to do that? The only other option they gave us was that we would be on streaming cooldown for 90 days, which is 3 months, which is an absolutely ludicrous amount of time.
Think about how many directs could happen between that time, and then we can't stream it.
And that really sucks, because then that's 3 months of Good Morning Source Gamings we can't do. That's like the entirety of the rest. Oh Christ, I'm about to get wrecked. Well, time to see if I can live this one out. But that's like the rest of the Great Ace Attorney streams gone. Saints Row. Can't cover Mario Maker 2. Can't cover Fire Emblem. The next charity stream, Majora's Mask. Like, that's a lot of stuff just automatically, like, boom, we can't do it. Now, granted, we had actually planned from the beginning to maybe stick to Twitch for the charity live stream, because YouTube already has like a ton of limitations when it comes to live streaming. Like, there's a reason why the full VOD for the Ocarina stream is not up, and that's because YouTube doesn't like any VOD that's over 12 hours. Also, I died. I got wrecked.
Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, YouTube doesn't let you upload stuff that's over a certain amount of time on there, and you can't really download them.
Yeah.
Convenient. So, and when it's 24 hours, like the Ocarina of Time one basically was, it's a bit of a nightmare.
Someone in chat says, surprise Dragon Quest didn't copyright strike. Are they pretty strict normally with DQ music? I imagine, but it seems like streaming copyrighted content and uploading a video with copyrighted content is handled completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't give a shit if you upload a video with copyrighted content unless it's like, you know, a full movie.
No, they still do.
But what I mean is, like, copyright claims on videos are less severe, apparently, than copyright claims on streams.
Yeah, I would, depending on the company,
We've never had video uploads disabled for 30 days, for like 90 days. Because
well, yeah, because most of the videos that we make aren't like, we wouldn't ever have a reason to get.
Yeah, so what I think it is that they're less strict on what specifically you can get claimed for on a stream, but if you do get claimed on a stream, the punishments are more severe.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where, because they give you a bit more leeway with it, the punishment is more severe if you do break it. Although they don't clarify what exactly is bad for streams at all and what doesn't work, and so you have literally no idea. And it's a bit of a harsh punishment when anything could happen on a live stream, even if it's completely unintentional. Like a sound could play in the background that you didn't plan, and that could be it.
What's really nice about Twitch is that if you play like licensed music, they'll kind of mute it out in the VOD. But I mean, like on your end, I mean, you still get to like hold on to the original recording and do kind of whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah.
We did actually get copyright claimed twice on the direct, and I think
really
the first one was the song playing during the third-party sizzle reel.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And the second was the second was the No More Heroes 3 trailer, which is rough, but
the irony.
You know, that's just they're probably more severe for streams because of those Simpsons 24-hour live streams and other shows. Yeah, but like, the problem is YouTube just assumes everyone is guilty. There's no context because it's just a bot doing it. And that's one of the reasons why trying to contact YouTube with this stuff is like impossible, because it seems like they just follow like a strict like oh, well, we can't look at everyone on a case-by-case basis, so you're just gonna have to, you know, fucking deal with it. Which is then what happened over the next couple of days, when we still didn't have live stream enabled, but then at one point, I guess we should also.
I mean, so the next part of the story is that, because all this happened while I was asleep. Being time zones and all this. So I woke up and I saw everything. So I immediately went off and started speaking to YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And I spoke to YouTube support, and they told me that you'd already contacted them. And stuff like that. And so we were talking about it, and I noticed on the Sourcecast, just the regular Source Gaming email. We'd received an email saying that Ubisoft had lifted the claim on the stream.
Which, for context, apparently the same thing happened last year, where Ubisoft did the E3 conference, a bunch of YouTubers streamed it. Spawnwave is the big one we've been talking to in the Twitter DMs about the whole thing. He's lucky though. He has like a network that he can get to leverage all this stuff. We're totally independent, so we have to like fend for ourselves. But apparently last year they just lifted the claim within a few hours and everything was back to normal. But here it took a few days.
Yeah, well, so this is what the problem was. They lifted the claim like they did last year, but YouTube itself didn't actually take the claim off of anybody's videos.
Yeah.
Everyone received an email saying that Ubisoft wasn't going to copyright claim the videos, but you still needed to file a dispute on the videos. However, they didn't specify this. So when I was talking to YouTube support, I was showing him evidence that, Ubisoft have disappeared on this. They've said, no, we're not going to claim the video anymore. On the status report on our channel, it said that there was no copyright strikes, no copyright claims. Everything was all golden. But according to YouTube support on their end, it was saying there was still one on our channel.
Yeah.
So I went and started having a look, and I saw that on the Ubisoft stream there was still a claim on there. So I filed a dispute on it, which has since gone off, and it's gone off, and the stream has come back.
Yeah.
But that took a few days.
In the same time, I also contacted YouTube support again, and was like, hey, what the fuck? And they were like, well, you still have the claim on the video. And I went like, no, it's like in the creator studio. Like, we don't have a claim. Like, what are you talking about? And then the YouTube guy was like, oh, huh, what do you know? That just seems to be the case. You gotta wait 2 days.
Yeah.
And now we're on the second day, and we finally got it back.
Yeah, so it was just a lot of bullshit waiting around because YouTube's automated system is complete trash.
Yeah. Of course, like, so then I guess the other thing we have to talk about is our methods of trying to tell our community on YouTube about us having a Twitch channel, because we haven't used our Twitch in like 2 years.
Yeah, we used to run the Sourcecast podcast via Twitch, and Twitch is also where we held like the Sourcefest live streams and stuff like that. But we had a lot of issues with just Twitch in general, getting the video clips after we had done the streams, because you only have a certain amount of time to do it, and you had to also set it beforehand, which at the time none of us had a lot of experience streaming. So a lot of our early streams were just completely lost because things hadn't been set up properly. And so
and the other thing, the big thing is that when we wanted to start doing streams again, this was back when after Ultimate was revealed, and our subscriber base was just like doubling, tripling, quadrupling. So we were kind of like, yeah, we should probably stream on the platform where we have the most people watching, as opposed to the one with significantly less followers.
Yeah. We're going 400 people.
Yeah, but the problem is, of course, going from, like, once you lose the ability to stream, you kind of have to be like, well, how the hell do we tell so many people? Especially considering that apparently YouTube has gotten way stricter about people telling people to go to competitors' websites.
And also the time period and when it happened, because like it was already late when we found out. So I'm getting ready to post a video like. Well, we were getting ready. Okay, well, what do we do?
Initially, I made up a quick video that was just me hanging out with my cats and telling people like, hey, we have a Twitch channel. Go there for the Nintendo Direct until this all gets sorted out. And that was not like a split-second decision. Like, I had recorded the video, I had edited the video, and then I had uploaded it and I showed it to Push and a Shadow Link, and they thought it was totally fine. They thought it was like A-okay. So that's why we went ahead and uploaded it. But then, people apparently just didn't like it. They didn't like being told to go follow our Twitch. So, we made the decision a few hours later to remove it. And then Phantom, a Shadow Link, and I believe also Voyager kind of came together and it made a better like update video.
I was like, I basically was recording it while Shadow Link had to dip, but it was a Voyager. While he was working on his homework, I was literally recording it. We were both in a voice chat, and he was muted, but I was recording it with him. And I don't think I have the video file still though, but it was just me talking. And I'd be like, okay, how do I explain this in the best way possible? Because even I don't understand. You did
it in a much better fashion than I did. I really didn't want the video to come off as like like begging, which is what a lot of people thought it was, even though I tried to make it as like casual and like no, like it just, you know, kind of sucks. But yeah, I think going for a more kind of calm approach was much better, and that's why people like that one better.
Yeah, and all this still happened while I was asleep, so
yeah,
I didn't even see the first video.
This all happened at like ungodly hours in the morning.
Yeah.
It sucked because it started like an hour right before the Square Enix conference, and then we were just kind of like, well, you know, we need to stream the direct. That's kind of like, you know, the really important thing.
Yeah, the direct was the more important one of the two, especially because a lot of Square Enix's, to be honest, was just the stuff they'd already shown previously, or adverts for games already out.
We didn't need to get super copyright claimed because of the fucking Avengers footage, you know? We'll just deal with Nintendo's bullshit for now. And they've also been a bit more lax about copyright claims and streaming and all that.
Yeah, getting rid of the entire, what was it called, the Nintendo Creators Program.
Creator Service, yeah.
A god, like a godsend to do. So thanks for that.
Yeah, but overall, now we can stream again. Though the bottom line is, I mean, right now we're doing this more as trying to stream to both as a test, and it's not super ideal because I guess there's like, you know, hardcore limitations within OBS and XSplit for doing
the fog sets in.
Kind of double streams. But in the future, we are going to try to move streams more over to Twitch, just kind of like as a safeguard. I think it's going to really depend on the context. The charity stream, the Majora's Mask charity stream, will absolutely be on the Twitch, no doubt about it.
Yeah, because of how long it's going to be.
Yeah, and there's much better integration with like donations and whatnot on Twitch than there is on YouTube. But we will try to keep Good Morning Source Gaming and general kind of game streams and whatnot to you know, to YouTube, because that's just, you know, that's just better for us.
Probably also reactions as well.
Yeah, because it was all about notifying people is a lot easier on YouTube because it pops up on people's YouTube feeds, whereas not everyone has a Twitch account. When it does, but not everyone has a Twitch account, so
whereas
not
on
everyone
Twitch
sees
you get an email, and who has email notifications on their phone, you know? Like,
yeah. It's not as easy, I guess is the right word.
So that's our story. That's our YouTube streaming story. Essentially, links in the description below to our Twitch. And also a reminder to follow us on Twitter for I guess more proper announcements. Even better if you do the little notification thing on Twitter, so you get a notification every time we tweet or something. Or you can just join our Discord where we announce streams all the time. Maybe a little too frequently, but whatever. You know,
everything gets announced on Discord.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Come along. It's the easiest way to stay up to date and chat with all of us. So, and there's always a link in the description of videos. So,
but yeah,
no excuses.
We're just happy that we can you know, stream again.
Whoop
whoop. And this is the part of the video now where if you have any questions,
ask away.
Ask away. And it doesn't even have to be about the streaming stuff. It could be about anything. It could be about E3. It could be about games we're going to be covering soon or whatever. Stream ideas. Just, you know.
Yeah. While we're waiting for an answer, have either of you guys played Hollow Knight?
No, I haven't. I own it though. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I own it. I haven't really touched it. Hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
I'm just playing it. I'm playing it as we talk because I picked it up in the sale.
That's a really good
that's
sale
going on the
right
E3
now.
sale. It is. I got.
Fantastic.
It's kind of. I wonder how much it's going to damage early sales of Cadence of Hyrule. Because Crypt of the Necrodancer got put down from its like £18 to £3.
Yeah.
Like it got like 80% off. And so I bought Crypt of the Necrodancer, but because I'm playing that as well, I'm not as motivated to go ahead and buy Cadence of Hyrule just yet, because I want to beat Crypt of the Necrodancer first.
Did you guys see that NBA 2K19 is $3.
I'm back.
Oh, I did see. Yes, I did see that. Is it $3 on my store as well? Because we have a different sale.
It
to
might be
yours.
like €2. They're just giving it away.
I have this feeling like my store has less stuff on sale
Maybe.
than the American one. I'd have to go back and check it because I remember looking through and there wasn't that many that was like more than 50% off, unless it was like really shitty ones. Like it was like 75p.
You could always
And it was 90%.
start up an American account and just
Oh, sure, you're right.
2K19.
I could look at the American account. I always forget I've got an American and Japanese account, so I could look at both of them. In fact,
totally forgot how large that game is. It's 32 gigabytes. It's 32 gigabytes, and not only that, each save file is 5 gigs.
Why?
Jeez, why? Yeah.
So that means you better have both an SD card and enough room on the internal memory, or else you just don't have either. You can't have both.
Alright, so we got some questions now. Unsurprisingly, Smash Brothers related.
That's fine. Honestly, this is the place to do it. Go right ahead. I'm not even gonna.
Colin's not gonna do as usual.
Yeah, I won't. I'll answer whatever.
So I mean, the first question was which character is now our most wanted for Smash Brothers now that Banjo and Erdrick have been both confirmed.
Phoenix Wright, baby.
Nice. I think mine's probably Cosmos, just for the same reason as it was Erdrick, in that I want to try and be 100% right for my predictions, and that was my most out there one. So, because otherwise I'm fine with any character. Phoenix would be banging though.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Phantom?
I guess Sora still? I don't know. I mean, I don't expect any more Square Enix, and I already got Angelo and 8 all in one character. So I literally got everything that I've ever wanted from this game except Sora. And I mean, I'm okay with that. So I don't have anybody I want.
Okay. Oh, fair.
I guess also Doom Guy. I know that's like the big fan favorite right now, especially
Doom
since Banjo ended up being fucking real.
Doom Guy's my other pick because he's my other prediction, but I think he's more likely than Cosmos. So I'm not as worried about Doom Guy because I do have strong feelings that we'll get a Bethesda character.
Yeah.
Considering I'm getting that same sort of vibe from Bethesda with Nintendo as I got with Platinum from Nintendo for the Wii U, and that got us Bayonetta, so I can see it again.
See. I'm still very indifferent on whether or not we'll see a Doom Guy or not. I heard you talking shit, Nan, about what about BJ Blazkowicz? Which was like no, the reason well, I don't know if that was like directed towards whenever I mentioned BJ Blazkowicz. I do it more of sort of like a joke because honestly I think BJ has like as much of a chance, if not, I don't know, like if this is rate that character like 5% less.
It's because more people. So if you took Bethesda characters and you just went up to anyone and you were like, "Have you heard of Doom?" or "Have you heard of Elder Scrolls?" or with Dover King and all that, people would know them. But because both from it, people will know Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
But BJ, whatever his last name is, I can never pronounce it right. Blazkowicz. Like, just from both his appearance and his name not rolling off the tongue.
Yeah.
Most people don't know him. Like, if he was called Wolfenstein Guy,
they could always call him Terror Billy if they wanted to make him a little more
But that's not like Doom Guy and Doom Slayer where they're close enough.
Where they have the same goddamn name, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 20 different names. I still get comments to this day on that. Oh shit! I still get damn it! I still get comments to this day where it's like, it's not Doom Guy, it's Doom Slayer, and I'm like, did you miss like the minute where I say every single Doom Guy name that exists, all 20 of them? Because there
really
is no like set one.
But that's the only reason why.
But at the
because
same
no
time,
one knows who the fuck BJ is.
Yeah, but I always bring up BJ just because like the same things you could say. I mean, like outside of Doom being more popular, you could make the same argument for BJ that you could with Doom Guy, because they're both still like big boy fast gunmen. From iconic id Software franchises. Like you could easily make the same argument for both.
I just think the Space Marine look that Doom Guy has, and Doom just being slightly more above, especially because of the Doom Switch port, was such a big one.
It's funny
compared to like the Wolfenstein Switch port.
It's funny because I make the same joke in my RTC video, but it got immediately overshadowed by me saying Paul McCartney right after, which made it sound like I was just being a big goof.
What happens when you goof too much?
Yeah, right?
People can't tell the goof from the truth.
That was actually, I think, like half the reason why I didn't do a re-rate that character for Doom Guy, because I was like because a big joke I was gonna do halfway through was all right, now this is also rate that character BJ Blazkowicz, and I just did like a Cliff Notes version of everything that had been said in the video thus far, but just replacing it with Wolfenstein stuff. And then at the end, I do 2 ratings, and BJ's would be a little bit lower than Doom Guy's, like 1% or something.
Just an id Software one, basically.
Yeah. Quake Man. Yeah. The Ranger.
So,
any other questions?
Yes, there was. Probably it was better. Who are you predicting for Smash? Are you expecting all third parties? Do you think Spirits? I mean, we already did the first one. So, are we expecting all third parties? That's the next question.
At this point, yeah. Other than Byleth.
At this point, it definitely is much more likely than it was. I want to say, like 2 months ago. But I think we could still see another Nintendo rep. I think it just has to be like really specific, which I think actually lowers the chances of that happening.
Gino.
No, well, Gino counts more as a third party than a first party. I think I think we could get one first party if they wanted to do the same thing they did with Corrin, where it's like, let's have a character from a game that's come out after Smash Brothers released, and so didn't have a chance at all of appearing in Smash Brothers. Which is why I think Astral Chain has a potentially good chance of getting a character. Yeah. I think like they would have known about it last November. The police their overall design is pretty unique compared to anything in Smash. So could their playstyle be with the sort of stand mechanic. And Nintendo's definitely pushing this game. I mean, from everything we've seen of it so far, I can't imagine it's going to be a poorly reviewed game. So, and as long as it does the same numbers that Bayonetta did, at least.
Awful question here, but all of the spirits are from franchises within Smash Brothers already, right?
Every spirit is in Smash Brothers by being a spirit in Smash Brothers.
Well,
no, I think he means from series that are already in Smash Brothers.
Well, some are only spirits that are some. Yeah.
There's a miscellaneous
that are only.
Yeah.
That are only
because you have like Fatal Frame and like the sessions, which fall into.
Well, Fatal Frame has an assist trophy too.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions appears in the Fire Emblem, but there's a miscellaneous section, but it's mostly Nintendo stuff. The only third parties in the miscellaneous are Monster Hunter because of the boss, Shantae and Risky Boots because of actually for no reason, just because.
Why not? Yeah.
And then the ones who are also assist trophies, like Bomberman has a spirit and Shovel Knight has a spirit, with a bunch of other Shovel Knight spirits.
Do we have Resident Evil?
No, there's no Resident Evil.
See, that's like. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's going to be maybe the way. If we are getting all third-party representatives, I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Granted, that's still like a huge ass like wide gap of characters to choose from because there's like 32 million video game characters. But yeah, I think characters that should be obvious choices but aren't represented in Smash, even in like spirit form, is kind of like maybe.
Yeah, I personally don't think having a spirit deconfirms someone, but because of the fact they're also bringing in spirits and stuff, I feel like any series that already has a major amount of spirits probably won't get something like, people are saying, oh, what if they have Waluigi or Bandana D? But we already have like the majority of the associated spirits you would have with those characters in Smash. So they would really be scraping the bottom of the barrel of characters if they wanted to go that route.
Here's a good way to put it. If they have us, like, spirits don't deconfirm a character. However, someone not having a spirit really makes their chances a bit more likely.
I think so.
I
that's
disagree.
the best way to put it.
Go on then. You disagree? Why?
I think first off, I said this countless of times, but I also just isn't the whole point.
That guy just like lagged his way to not dying. That's cool.
But isn't one of the main things about spirits is that the characters lost their physical forms? Isn't like the whole point of spirits?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's
dead.
I mean, that's the in-game explanation for them, but that's like, that's just trying to justify them.
I think there's one reason. Not only that, but now that we know how DLC works, I think it'd be weird if, like, say if like, what's his name, Raiden in the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance version of Raiden got it. Then you could add like spirit from Rising Revengeance Smash Bros. Because the only one that we have is of Raiden.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, wasn't there a Reggie quote that a lot of people like misread into, though, where he said though something along the lines of like all the DLC characters are like people like super new to Smash Bros.
What he says is every DLC character will be a new character for Smash, as in there won't be any veteran characters, which is obviously the case because all the veterans are already in the game.
Yeah, the way that he worded it could also be like interpreted differently because because like people took it like misconstrued it as I'm saying only new series would be in Smash Brothers.
But even then, that's also true.
That's true. But what he specifically said was that characters that haven't appeared in Smash Brothers are coming, which means that it doesn't mean just just fight, because again, everybody is here. There's nobody else to add as a fighter.
Yeah.
Well, that's up to like debate, though. Of course, like how much of it is PR talk? Because and when he says characters, does he just mean fighters, or does he also include spirits, bosses, assist trophies, etc.?
People in cutscenes. Yeah.
I think he means everything. That's the way I took it. Because
I took it as being fighters because they're the characters who already fit that. So it's I mean that it can be interpreted. I mean, personally, it's probably just PR talk.
Yeah,
in my opinion, and shouldn't be really read into that deeply. I would be surprised if Reggie didn't even know who all the characters were, considering how desperately they were trying to stop leaks and everything. I'm sure the American side only know.
I bet Reggie doesn't even have Sakurai's phone number. Let's be real.
Exactly.
He probably doesn't even have his Skype contact.
Probably.
He's gone from Nintendo now. He has no way of keeping up.
he just like sat there in his office for like 10+ years and was like, "Man, I'd really like to call Sakurai, but I just, I can't."
Well, now you can add him on Twitter.
He's got to be like really like tsundere to his like to his like his interns and everything. Like,
the fog sets in.
Like no real reason. I just can you give me Sakurai's number real quick?
And one of the interns just comes in and is like, "Oh, I saw Sakurai the other day," and it's like, "What? Oh, really? Oh, that's good. That's good."
Yeah.
What was he like?
How does he treat that hair? It's like,
does he actually talk in translation?
Yeah.
That was something really weird. Just slight tangent here. So I was listening to your guys' live reaction to the Nintendo Direct when I was driving home the other day because I didn't get to be a part of it. And the American Direct dubs Koizumi in English, doesn't in the European one. And in the European one, they're just like, fuck it, and all the Japanese guys speak in Japanese with subtitles, and Doug Bowser just speaks in English.
And the Japanese one, Doug Bowser just speaks English,
but they subtitle it.
Subtitles,
Yeah, it's literally like, so when I was listening, I heard Koizumi like them do the typical direct dub. I was like, why on earth is that not in the European one? Like, what?
I wonder
don't
if that's
understand.
because because Europe is such like a broad region that like dubbing it into English might not be as like
It might not make sense.
worthwhile of an effort. I don't know.
I mean, my assumption would be that Doug Bowser is probably just easier to subtitle it into each of the individual languages,
Yeah.
as opposed to dubbing Koizumi and then subbing it in a different language anyway.
Yeah,
Even if you
exactly.
could, but I mean, even if you could just use the same dub as the American one, I guess there isn't really any point in doing that if it's only for one country. So why bother? But it was really weird to hear because it's not just Koizumi; it's everyone who's Japanese who appears in that direct isn't dubbed. So the Pokemon guy and the NCL president who appears at the end, none of them are dubbed.
I do
bizarre.
like though how Koizumi's they do like a little Godfrey Ho thing where he's just like, you know, he just talks in English translation.
Yeah, you can barely even under the English.
That's the kind of like Nintendo Direct lore we've been missing since the launch of the Switch.
And I'm really glad they did like a little skit with Bowser because they haven't done like a little skit in a long time.
They haven't.
I was glad they did that. I wasn't sure if they would or not, but it's a good. Well, I think it's cool. Thought it was cute.
They did it in a way too that didn't like push a lot of stuff out of the way. I'm still amazed at like, I mean, that was like 40, like that whole conference was like God damn it, I keep hitting left bumper.
40 minutes.
That whole conference was like 40 minutes long, but like it was paced amazingly.
Yeah.
They showed off so much.
When I go back to watch it, I forget where things are. It's like, wow, there was so much in it. I don't remember. What am I supposed to be looking for again?
Yeah, I completely forgot about the John Romero.
Yeah.
They showed off the gangster one.
I wish it was Bayonetta. Yeah. I saw the bullets.
They were gonna have.
Yeah,
they're not gonna have Bayonetta until Astral Chain is done with.
They really goofed on people by showing a Platinum Games logo at the end of No More Heroes or Astral Chain, and then showing the bullets from the John Romero game, which made people think it was Bayonetta.
Yeah, because it wasn't like right after Chain.
After Astral Chain, yeah.
So
I didn't even think about
that. Oh no.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I just wasn't expecting Bayonetta at all because it just didn't seem to make sense to have Bayonetta when Astral Chain's out. Although, man, Astral Chain gave me like crazy Near Automata vibes from the music and the dialogue and everything.
The character designer or something, the director.
Yeah, it's like the producer of Nier Automata is working on it.
Yeah, no, he is. He's doing it for this one, but the fact that Yoko Taro is obviously not involved in this one at all, and so it's like how much of the producer is influenced by Yoko Taro, or how much of Nier Automata was him instead of Yoko Taro.
They did that thing where it's like director so-and-so who was the producer of Nier Automata, which then makes you go like, oh, is that... You know, it's like, no.
What was I going to say next?
You got any more questions?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we do have next question. So, the next one is Sora or Master Chief, if you had to pick one.
Sora.
I'm a weeb.
I think I'd go Master Chief. I was thinking about Sora because I'm going to do an all content in Smash for Kingdom Hearts, and I know how Sora would play now thanks to seeing Erdrick and how they've implemented the heroes. But because we've already got the heroes, I feel like Master Chief would be more interesting. And I think Master Chief's a bigger character as well. So
Master Chief's a bigger character, but like 2 Microsoft reps.
I mean, 2 Square Enix reps.
Yeah, but like it's fine.
Is it?
we can only get like shocked so many times, you know?
I don't want to say they've blown their load early, but then again, they did reveal like K. Rool and all that before revealing Incineroar in the base, so maybe. So what's the next question? What horror game character as a fighter would you like to see in Smash, if any?
I guess Leon
I mean,
Kennedy
yeah,
or
any of
Pyramid
them.
Head, maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Space Soccer Cowboys pick was Scissor Man, which is quite
The
an
Scissor
out
Man?
there pick. From oh shit, what's it called? Call do you know what
Tower?
it's called? Yeah, Clock Tower. That's it.
I only know because of the JonTron video.
So there's that. I would go. Who would I go with? It would probably be Resident Evil character. Leon would be a cool choice. I kind of would like to see like Nemesis though actually have one of the zombies, the antagonist as the choice.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more interesting.
Maybe
So
what's the dude's name that walks around in Resident Evil 2?
that's Mr. X. That's like what
Yeah.
Nemesis. That's the beta version of Nemesis, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is War going to be an extra secret fighter? No, he is
Who?
not. Waluigi.
Oh.
No, he isn't. Next
No,
question.
he's an assist trophy. I don't know why Push keeps trying to push for Waluigi.
I mean, I get why Push is, because like there isn't anything to say that they can't upgrade assist trophies. It's not like a rule. It just hasn't happened yet. And Waluigi was such a big choice, obviously, at the start of Smash Ultimate, that it would be a massive shock for people if he's been given up on, and it would like please fans, I guess. But like, I could almost argue the same thing for Bandana Waddle Dee, who is by far the one who gets the top of the polls almost constantly, who isn't in. Like, both in the Japanese and Western polls, he's almost always in the top 3, and is the top first-party character. Even like even in like the Smash ballot days, Bandana D was ranking higher than Waluigi, and part of that could be because a lot of people had given up on Waluigi, because he was an assist trophy even in Smash 4.
Yeah.
But considering they went so far for Banjo and stuff, I could see this similar argument being made for Bandana D, and then you don't have to take like an assist trophy out.
Sure.
Although I don't think they'd take him out; they'd just have it be a setting there. If Waluigi is playing as a fighter, the assist trophy for Waluigi cannot appear. Like, have that be a condition, because some assist trophies don't appear on particular levels.
When you're playing as Robin, but your opponent is playing as Crumb, you can't have Crumb in your victory screen.
Yeah, well, I mean that. Yeah, well, that's. I guess that's the other problem, isn't that? That does happen still.
Yeah.
Let's see if we do. If a villain is DLC, who would you consider?
I don't know any situations where I would put a villain over the main character, unless the villain is like unless the main character is the villain.
I'm just gonna default to Nemesis again, because that was already my choice, and I feel like that's one that would make the most sense. I mean, I know people want Porky, but like, we don't need it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, alright, we don't need anything, but like another mother character isn't gonna happen.
So like that's actually been the thing that's always weirded me out, or all the people that are like, man, Dragon Quest doesn't have any Western appeal. Why would they do Dragon Quest? But then you have all these fucking people who are like, yeah, we should get more mother reps. It's like, what?
That game that never came out.
When?
It's the Nintendo IP privilege. That's the problem.
Like, I remember I was talking to someone, and I was like, you do realize, like, Lucas is in Smash Brothers, right? Like, you know, from the game that's infamously not in the... And the only counter-argument I was getting to that is like, well, this is DLC. It's different because, like, people can choose who they would want to pay for. And I'm like, don't act like people who are that deep into Smash Brothers to complain about, like, what choices are more or less likely already don't own the Fighter's Pass. like, come on. Like, I really don't think there is anyone out there that is like, Dragon Quest? Damn, I wish I bought all the fighters individually. Like, that's not, you know...
I still haven't bought the Fighter's Pass, by the way.
But, like, I don't... You know what I mean?
Why have you not bought the fight? Yeah. I mean, you'd have to really like. Cause I feel like didn't Shadow Link not buy the Fighter's Pass, but that's because he didn't want Joker in his thing specifically.
Really?
Yeah. So he didn't buy the Fighters Pass, but was going to buy all the others. I mean, but like, I suppose it would really depend how. Because I know some people haven't bought the Fighters Pass because they're cautious of who they will be, but I feel like those people are the most. They're the most cynical of Smash fans.
I'm also not going to be like shit on people because they don't have money. That's definitely not what I'm trying to insinuate. Because like I also, or like just people not buying it because.
I also don't have money.
The characters wasn't out yet. Because I didn't buy the Fighter Pass until Joker came out. Because I was like, well, there's no reason to put down $25 now.
Yeah, same. I didn't, but well, I mean, I was meant to be given the Fighters Pass to have with the game, and it didn't arrive till much later.
Also, can we just like quickly mention for a second how despite the fact that everyone always hates my Smash opinions, I more or less called it in the predictions video of how I was like, yeah, there's gonna be a character reveal, but like it won't be shadow dropped. We'll see it later in the summer, and then like a second character will be in the fall.
True. Well, true, but then you also say that we would only get one character.
Yeah,
and
I
not
was.
Characters. Half there. I was the other half because I was saying it would be shadow dropped and we would get two. I was the most optimistic.
Yeah.
I told you,
and I was wrong.
As soon as I saw summer 2019, I was like, yep. Yeah.
I was like, oh. But I guess, to be fair, I guess I was right when I was talking about how, you know, from the update files and all that, we're not likely to see him until, what was it, July 30th, yeah. I said?
Yeah.
So I guess I was right on that.
Also, yeah, like I also just was like a firm not believing in the fucking people that were like, oh, maybe Banjo was brave the whole time. It's like, no.
No, then why would Banjo be brave? Come on.
Oh, by the way,
I am curious what Banjo's like codename is.
Yeah.
Rare.
Rare, yeah.
No, Rare would be too obvious. I feel like it'd have to be like Bee or Bumble or something like that for Honey.
Why?
Fucking, he's called Bumble, and everyone's like, oh, it's Bumble! He's coming to Smash!
Because they went really far out references for Joker and Arsene.
Yeah. That
makes sense when you think about it, but are like steps to the logic. So you can see Bear, Honey, Bees, Bumble. Right. What's the
non-Smash questions?
No.
I'll answer anything. I really don't care. I'll do it.
I mean, what do you think is more likely for Banjo's Fighter Pass? To that I say, watch the all content in Smash video for Banjo-Kazooie. That has all the answers you will need, and I will link it for you just so that you don't have to go out of your way. Don't worry, I've got your back.
Don't we already kind of know that the stage is Spiral Hill?
Spiral Mountain, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we know the stage is Spiral Hill, but he's asking about spirits. And
I wonder if we'll see the return of the Jet Force Gemini spirits and Blast Core.
Well, if you watch my video,
yeah,
you may have all of the thoughts on it.
Don't watch his video; he has enough views. Watch my Sniper Elite V2 review.
Does it mention Banjo-Kazooie?
No, it mentions Hitler. So I mean,
oh well, shit.
Oh my gosh,
who's the real MVP now?
Oh God.
Oh Christ.
Oh, my brother's playing that Battalion 1944, by the way.
It's a pretty alright game.
Yeah. No, because I was asking him why people were interested in it, and apparently it's made by people who wanted to like sort of make Call of Duty 2.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just Call of Duty 2 on a newer engine, essentially.
Yeah. Fair enough. I understand that Call of Duty 2 is a great game.
Yeah, they just wanted like a World War II shooter, but without all of the nowadays like weird like pseudo fantasy elements that all of the modern World War II shooters are doing.
Okay.
I mean, because fucking Battlefield and Call of Duty were like, well, we can't do a World War II shooter now. How are we gonna add red dot sights? And then they went, oh fuck, we'll just add red dot sights to World War II. People will look past that, right?
Just
Which, I
have
mean,
aliens. It's
Which is
fine.
personally, I think is totally fine. But there's
Yeah, I
enough
mean, it's one of
realistic
those-
World War II games out there.
Yeah, well, that's what confused me. Why it even to exist, because there were so many already out there.
I understand
But-
them advertising it because it's like a Square Enix game now, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I was like, people are just gonna shit on it because like it's despite like appealing to like Call of Duty is like a super popular franchise. It's a real like broad niche of people that really want like a COD 2 remake.
Yeah.
Oh, is someone trying to shoot at me? Is this
Oh, no.
this dude shooting?
Get over here.
By the way, this game is very like it's not amazing, but it's not bad. I kind of like it.
What sort of game is it?
It's
Fortnite.
high res's Fortnite basically.
Okay.
So it's Fortnite with like Paladin's assets, but it's also like, I mean, it looks and runs better than Fortnite does on the Switch.
That's really.
Yeah. What's this? Oh, cool. Someone linked your Banjo video in the chat. Good on
That's
them.
him.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh. Okay, Josh.
Look, I'm going to take the opportunity to show myself, of course.
I've been having issues with playing not Smash
Yes.
Brothers, video games in general, because when I work on stuff, I like to watch YouTube, but I'm not gonna watch YouTube on my computer screen because it's gonna be hard to alternate between back and forth. So now I watch YouTube on my Switch. The thing is that now I've gotten so used to watching YouTube on my Switch,
It's
I
like the
haven't been
most
playing.
played thing you have.
Yeah, I don't play any games anymore on my Switch. Like I have 900 hours on YouTube
On
already.
YouTube. Fucking hell.
I also have that
Watch too
problem.
much YouTube.
I've gotten better at it though. I remember when Breath of the Wild came out, I actually like muted the game a ton because there's like barely any sound in that game anyway, and I just put on audiobooks in the background.
Yeah.
I listened to
I
all
used
of
to I used to
disaster
work
artists.
and do
Yeah.
I used to work and listen to audiobooks all the time because it was just the better thing. I mean, I did like listening to stuff like Game Grumps and other random nonsense YouTube while I worked on stuff, but now I'm like, oh shit, I dropped my mic.
Oh,
Now I'd rather just
You've done this
concentrate.
several times now.
It's because the wire from my mic like goes just directly in front of me.
Some double sided
Ah.
tape or something.
It's a RAM, I
It's just
think.
like-
Yeah, I should. But I always move my mic out of the way after I'm done with it because it's just in the way. It's like right in front of me, and so I've got to like lean around it to get to my keyboard
Yeah.
and stuff. But then I accidentally like hit it with my foot or something like that while I'm talking. But what I should do is take it off of its tripod and put it back on its little arm.
What you should do is just use a Turtle Beach and
I got
Yeah.
some proper good gaming headset actually as a gift, but I haven't tried the microphone on it yet.
I bought
I always
like
just
a-
use the one I got.
way back in the day, like I want to say like in high school, I bought like a pair of Turtle Beach like PX22s. And
Oh, yeah?
I don't use them at all anymore because I just don't use gaming headsets. I use like studio headphones and a nice little like XLR mic that I just hang above my my setup. But the other day I was talking to some friends on I was going to talk to some friends on Xbox, and so I needed like a gaming headset. So I plugged in the PX22s because I still have them into the controller, and they were like, "Dude, that sounds professional." And I'm just thinking about all the times that I like recorded like streams and podcasts with it, and it sounded like absolute dog shit. And I'm just like, I guess maybe compared to like most gamer headsets. Yeah. If you want a good gamer headset recommendation, PlayStation Gold is like, those are the best, I think, right now.
Okay.
They work on Switch too. They work on any
Nice.
console.
When do you think? Oh, when do you think people are overreacting about not all Pokemon being in Sword and Shield? I think they're overreacting right now. If you actually intended me to answer the when question, if you mean why do you think?
So this is like, I think it depends on the person you ask this, because so I was talking to Bryhard yesterday, and because he plays way more Pokemon than I do. I think I've said this on Good Morning Source Gaming before, but like for the longest time I had like an immense Pokemon burnout. Like I played it when I was younger, and then I just like I just never played it again because I was just like, no, I just can't. And I get that way about a lot of Pokemon games. Like I'll play one, get really into it, and then I'll like go to play another, and I'm like, nah, it's got to be a few more years. So I was talking to Brian, and he was like, it was bound to happen at some point.
Yeah,
because at some point there are like he was telling me like Digimon started doing this shit years ago.
Oh yeah,
because it, like at some point once you hit 1,000 characters, like that's so much you have to balance, you have to model, you have to animate. Yeah, like there is just so much going on at that point. And of course, like Pokemon's one of the biggest franchises ever, so like it does seem kind of weird to be like, oh, think of all those game developers that have to do like a million billion things. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, I mean, yeah, they gotta meet a deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at some point, I mean, it's I don't know. Pokemon's one of those things where I think, like, there are, you know, with each installment, there is, I think, something to worry about, because there always is, like, some weird thing that kind of makes you go, like, okay, I guess. But, you know, you also have to remember that, like, it's this huge franchise. People always find things to complain about, like, every single installment. And, like, there is such a thing as a game being too big for its own good. I do kind of wish they had explained it earlier in a Pokemon Direct, as opposed to, you know, like 6 months before the game comes out.
They haven't been keeping up. I mean, was it explained in
the
like
Pokemon
the
Direct was in the
Treehouse
same
or did?
month.
Like yeah, because the first Pokemon Sword and Shield blowout for it was only like a few weeks ago.
It was the week right before, like the week right before.
Yeah. What I'm wondering though was where did they announce this?
Okay.
Treehouse.
It was Treehouse.
It was on Treehouse.
Right after the yeah. So Masuda was like I think it was like at the end of like the whole section too as well. But he was like, because of balancing, because of the fact of, you know, the animations of the Pokemon, it's going to be really hard to kind of bring all the Pokemon, all 800 characters, all 800 Pokemon characters, which is 808, and also adding new Pokemon on top of that, which is gonna go either it might still be in the 800s, but you know, that's still a whole bunch of characters where you're making like 15 different animations for them, because you have overworld attack animations, idle animations, stuff like that, and then the special attack, physical attack.
Bringing it back to Smash, you gotta remember, next Smash Brothers probably won't have all the characters either. For the same reason.
And also working with the companies to get the licenses as well. So it's like with Pokemon, it's like you're making like 15 animations for 808 characters plus more. It's like at some point, it's like you're gonna. I'm not quoting Masuda specifically, but he was basically. But just to go back to what Masuda was saying, he was basically saying, because of that, but from Pokemon Home, you're only going to be able to bring in the Pokemon that are already within the Galar region Pokedex. So like if that Pokemon already exists from the Galar region Pokedex, you'll be able to bring it over. Otherwise, you won't be able to.
Yeah, which makes sense because they're not in that Pokemon's not in the game. Otherwise, you can't just.
Well, the thing is that yes, the Pokemon I don't think are going to be in the game for Sword and Shield. But the thing was that the reason I can understand a little bit of why people are upset, because in originals, when Sun and Moon first came out, you couldn't transfer your Pokemon. They released an update in like January so you could do it, but all the Pokemon were still in the game. And again though, it's like, you know, they're probably not limiting, but like condensing a lot of that information and the models and stuff onto to making it really small because it's also on a 3DS as well. Whereas with on a Switch, that it's an HD game. You can cut corners, but you can only do so much, especially with 800 different characters, and on top of that, human characters as well with settings. It's like you're gonna be using assets in different areas, but it's also like at a certain point, there's just too much. And I'll be surprised if I'll be a little bit surprised if Sword and Shield in terms of file size isn't a bigger game than like Breath of the Wild or something like that, or isn't close in file size. But in terms of my just overall opinion, it's like I'm okay with not having all my Pokemon. It's like I've been using these exact same Pokemon for years on years from like Ruby and Sapphire, because you couldn't transfer from like Crystal. So like from Ruby and Sapphire all the way to now. That's like what, 15 years? And not only that, but it's like, what am I gonna do with that Pokemon until post game? Because that Pokemon isn't gonna listen to me when I'm just at the beginning. And that's like, and even if they did, that's not a fair advantage. Like I'm gonna be just passing through gym leaders like that. It's like it's not gonna be fun. So and not only that, but like I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that Generation 5, Black and White originally, like most of it was just the new Pokemon. There wasn't like really any old Pokemon until you get to post game, and I was happy with that because you're experiencing the new Pokemon. That's the whole point of having a new generation.
Yeah,
so
I agree with you on that, because that's something I never really understood why people didn't like that, because I think that's the best thing, and I would much rather every Pokemon game did what Black and White did, because otherwise people just tend to stick to the same Pokemon and you never really experience it. Like I always plan out my team ahead of time for Sword and Shield, for just Pokemon in general, and I always exclusively use new Pokemon.
I made that joke to
I ignore all old Pokemon.
I made that joke to Brian where I'm like, we always make fun of like dirty Gen 1ers, but like everyone uses Gen 1 Pokemon anyway.
Nah. I don't use.
People do.
A lot do.
I would say a lot of people do, or just the competitive use what the competitive people are using, like Landorus. But that's because they're playing with a specific type, like a specific niche. That's not the general.
As I said,
but, like,
I don't like I think like people are right to be mad, like, or at least upset and disappointed. I know it seems like, we're in like the perfect position right now to be totally considered like, oh, you guys are just defending Nintendo and like Nintendo shills and like apologists and all that, and like we totally are in that position, and I'm trying not to, but like it is definitely one of those things where, like, I don't know, personally, I don't think it'll break the game. I don't think it's gonna make Pokemon Sword and Shield any less. And if people really don't like it, then they'll just they'll fix it in the next game.
Maybe.
Yeah, they may be like more incentive for whenever they get to Pokemon Master Sword and Master Shield. Like that has every Pokemon this time, because they'll have more time to add all those Pokemon in. Which I know some people will. Well, because it depends on how much of it is a file size issue and how much of it is literally time issue.
I think it's more of a. Well, I'll let you finish. Sorry.
Because I think it's much more of a time issue than a file size issue, and I could easily see them like updating with patch, especially in this world of patches, updating it every few months by adding more Pokemon available to wild areas to just show up.
Right, and that's what I was expecting them to do, like, add a patch, because that's what they did with Sun and Moon. Just make a patch that adds all the Pokemon in later. Like, you don't have to do it right now. And like you were saying with time constraints, it's like, the games are the most important aspect of Pokemon. That's what everything else stems from. But also because of that, remember that it's a multimedia franchise. You have the anime. Which it has to go into. It's probably going into production, like maybe right about now, because like the anime will start like a few months like right after Sword and Shield comes out, and then you also have the TCG, which all these artists have to draw artwork for, and then also have you have to have the cards printed and stuff like within 2 months after the game comes out, or maybe like a few more months after the game comes out, and then the manga maybe if there's they're still continue to do it, but I guess that's more lenient as well. But all of it stems from the game, so it's like if the game isn't ready, then everything else that they have to create for Pokemon, for like for in terms of merchandise for what they're making, it's like they also have to. They can't just push that back. Their schedules.
Yeah, and they have to meet their deadline. And I think like I understand why people are mad. Totally understand, but like I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, Game Freak are being lazy or Game Freak are being stingy or like stuff like that when it comes to this, because it is going to hit that point, and it's amazing already that it hasn't hit that point before.
Yeah,
where there's so many, because we have over 800 Pokemon.
Right.
And every single one of them needs models and animations, and the individual some attack animation is shared, but some isn't. And now with the ability for them to walk around in wild areas, like that's also needed. And anything if they have something special Dynamax related, that's also needed. Mm-hmm. It's just all a lot of work to do, and it just can't be done.
Yeah, also like. It's not like Game Freak wants to announce that. Like, why would you? Not to say why would you think that, but like, would you think it's reasonable for a company to have to announce to their fans, like, to be happy to announce that, hey, we're not going to be able to bring every Pokemon. The whole thing that this franchise is about, the Pokemon that you've collected over the years. It's like, do you think that they would really be happy to announce that you can't bring over your Pokemon? That's like of course they're working hard on it, but it's like if there's limitations that they have to do because it's just not manageable right now. It's just not manageable. And like they could, even if they like, if one of the things they could do instead, you can have all your Pokemon, right? No new Pokemon this generation. Take that instead. It's like maybe people will like that, but it's also like, then what's the point of this new region?
Yeah, like they're doing less and less Pokemon every single game now because of how much like it takes up to do them.
Yeah. I think,
and how many they have to add. I would much rather they add more new Pokemon and had less old ones available.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would gladly make that trade-off, because I've used the old ones before, so I'd much rather see new stuff.
Do we even know how long Sword and Shield has been in development? Because I'm assuming since latest that we know right now is 2017, because when they announced it at E3, but it's probably been in development before that.
It probably. So it depends really on whether or not people did think that Pokemon Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were originally planned for Switch or not. Because remember, people found walking assets and they looked like they were made for HD and stuff like that. It's all about whether or not Sword and Shield was always intended to be the first HD mainline Pokemon game, or if they had planned something else. But I would say they probably, 2017 sounds about reasonable. That sounds like the usual amount of time they take the beginning of the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. That sounds about right to me.
Okay.
But remember, this is also like Game Freak's first full HD Pokemon game. I mean, there's Let's Go, but Let's Go is not only a remake, but also uses a much more chibi art style, and also only has the first 151 Pokemon in it.
Yeah, it's very limited in what it has.
Yeah,
it's
and much simpler mechanics and everything.
Well, not like a 3DS game, but it's like it's smaller in content because of what it is. So it's like if you just took a 3DS game and upscaled it while adding more content as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, Detective Pikachu is a thing too. Forgot about that.
yeah, Detective Pikachu's coming. No, that's not being made by Game Freak directly.
Ah, damn.
Well, I mean, the original wasn't, so.
So, like, at this point, it's like I'm not bothered. Well, I'm not really bothered by it at all, honestly. When I heard the announcement, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't care. It's like it's just, to me, it's just like, okay, I get to catch new Pokemon, and then I get to, I'm not going with this team that I've had for like several years. It's like once I have this team, it's like, also another thing about it is that, okay, I'm bringing all these Pokemon over, but just to battle. It's kind of like, yeah, I get that having this established team that you've always had that you've built like like even if it's just like a video game, it's like I understand that there's an attachment to those Pokemon. I'm attached to my Pokemon as well, but it's kind of like from a gameplay standpoint. And this is why I also think that Pokemon will never get DLC, not just because of the how it could possibly hurt the brand. Like I think either Ishihara or Masuda said, it's also the fact of what else can your Pokemon do after they've already hit 100, after they already hit level 100. It's like if you add DLC, well, okay, now raise the level cap, and then that's really it. All you can do as a point, you like add a new story as well, but like, and you also have to raise the level cap. But right now, it's like there's nothing else that your Pokemon can do once they've already hit level 100. It's just battles with your friends and trading, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh well, and then whatever post game that they add, which I'm hoping they add some post game this time around because
same.
Sun and Moon was Ultra Sun and Moon had Rainbow Rocket, that's cool. RS had the Delta episode, that was pretty badass. Then X and Y had nothing.
I've been being let down since X and Y on post game content.
Yeah,
X and Y had nothing. I don't think Sun and Moons was that good either. RS I never played, so I can't comment on the Delta episode. And then I never played Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon either, so...
Yeah. The 1 hour, it's like, Delta episode was like 1 hour, but it was like, say if you wanted to take the story of Emerald, but you attach it to Ruby and Sapphire, but it made its own type of continuity.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Pokemon.
Yeah. So, are there any other questions? Because I don't see any more questions.
Yeah, we can start wrapping this up soon. I only thought this would be like an hour or so.
It's only been about that.
I switched over to Wolfenstein 2.
Oh, did you?
This game that I still don't like, but
then why are you playing
I
it?
keep playing through it because I'm like, one day maybe I'll like it, like maybe I'll see.
Gotta justify that purchase.
Yeah, but yeah, I fucking hate this game.
I'm just continuing to play Hollow Knight, trying to figure out where the hell I'm meant to even go.
No, I don't even know what game I should play. I have too many games.
See, I can't really play Cadence of Hyrule when I'm on stream because I need to listen to what the hell's going on.
No, oh yeah, I gotta check my email to see if we got anything about that.
Cadence.
I really hope that I won't say what company goofed, but I really hope that one certain company's goof didn't fuck me into that Alien Isolation key.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was weird.
That was weird.
I was like, what? I guess maybe because we have so many similar amount of subscribers.
Maybe he's also called Colin.
That'd be interesting. God damn it! This game sucks.
Just play a different game, bro. Play
True.
I
need to finish my
Phantom. He can't.
I need to finish my third playthrough so I can really confirm to myself that this game sucks. That or we'll just end the stream. You know what? Let's
Let's end the stream so that only Colin can be suffering from
Yeah.
Wolfenstein 2 blues. Don't spread this to everyone else.
But yeah, that's our little Source Gaming State of the Union address. I'd like to thank all of you for joining and asking questions. This weekend we will have a brand new Good Morning Source Gaming, and you can ask us more questions, and we'll probably reiterate everything we said again. But we just thought for now this would be a cute little way of getting that done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Weekend will probably be a post E3 thoughts, I imagine.
Yeah.
I feel like we've given so many post E3 thoughts already. I don't know what else to say about E3 at this point.
We'll get a different slew of people. We'll get
it depends who's in.
Yeah.
We'll get all the Source Gaming staff members who have never been on a Good Morning Source Gaming, and they have to do it themselves.
You gotta get Liquid.
Oh, God.
You gotta get
Voyager.
Liquid. Get Voyager.
Triss.
Get Lulu. Get Triss. Oh, Triss has been on one.
One, yeah.
Get Wolfman on here.
Mango too as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, there you
Just
go.
let them.
I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Links, of course, down below to our Twitter, our Twitch, donation links, Patreon, Twitter, Discord, and shout out to the Duke of Dorks, or else we'll get flogged unless we.
No,
He'll
please,
copyright
shout-
claim us if we don't say it.
Oh boy.
So yeah, have a good
Yep.
one.
Bye, guys.